Stampers. Today we're going to make this card. It's very simple, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm using a piece of crumb cake, and this is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. That's going to be your base. And then you're going to need a piece of Early Espresso, and this is cut at 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. And then I went ahead and stamped the images already from the Postage Due stamp set, and this looks like this. It's brand new. As soon as I seen it, I knew I wanted to make this card. Love it. Okay, so what I did is I stamped the Very Vanilla cardstock with the Early Espresso, and then I stamped the Early Espresso cardstock with the Whisper White craft ink. So let's go ahead and prep the card first, the base card. So I'm going to use the Crumb Cake Classic ink. There's a piece of paper on there. Okay, so we're going to grab the Postage Due stamp set, and we're going to use this little 2 cents. And I'm going to get the travel post out. And we're going to ink up the 2 cents first. And I'm going to stamp the whole background, but I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to stamp off, and then stamp onto the card. Okay, then I'm going to take the Early Espresso Classic ink, and I'm going to sponge all the edges. So let me do that really quick. Okay, so then I have a piece of Very Vanilla, and since I have the Early Espresso out, I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this travel post. So the trick to ripping, we're going to layer the vanilla onto the Early Espresso. So the trick to the ripping of the paper is you're going to start on the side that you want to start showing your image. I'm going to start over here by the bicycle. So I'm just going to start ripping towards me. And you want to rip towards you because there's 2 sides to the ripped edge. So you have like a frayed side and then a straight edge side. You want the straight edge side. So it should look like this. I don't know if you can see the rips. It's kind of frayed. You don't get the whole image on the frayed part. So that's why we're going to use this piece. So we're just going to put some adhesive on the back side of the Very Vanilla. And then we're just going to layer the vanilla over the Early Espresso and just line up the image. Right there, looks good. And then for the flower part, I'm going to go ahead and turn the cardstock. Since we started on this side, you're going to start over here. I'm just going to rip towards me. Okay, so you get that straight edge there. Put adhesive on the back. And then you're going to line this flower up. Let me see here, right about there. I guess looks good. So it looks like that. Isn't that cool? Love it. All right, so then we're just going to go ahead and trim this out. So let me grab my cutter here. Let me do this really quick. Okay, so the finished size of your trimmed out piece should be about 4 by 3.5. Okay, so let's go ahead and move this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to grab my adhesive, and I'm going to put adhesive on the back side, on the right side. Just run a little strip of the snail. And then I have some Early Espresso stitched ribbon, and I'm just going to cut quite a few little pieces off so I can add some texture to the card. Start there, I guess. Okay, so then you're just going to go ahead and add your ribbon to the side. Let me do this real quick. Okay, so then flip it over, and then you're just going to trim them all the same length here. Okay, so it should look like that. Okay, so then you're going to take your Early Espresso piece, which is cut at 3 3/4 by 4 1/4, and you're going to pop that up on dimensionals here on the back side of this. And this should layer right over top of that. Just like that. And then I'm going to take another piece of the Early Espresso stitched ribbon. I'm just going to make a bow real quick. Okay. And then I would use a mini glue dot, but I don't have any handy really quick, so I'm just going to put some snail right there in the top corner. Add the little bow, just like that. Then we can go ahead and pop this whole piece up on more dimensionals. I'm going to layer this right in the center of the card. Like that. Cute! Okay, so then we're going to take the travel post that we stamped earlier. We're going to punch that out with the postage stamp punch. And take the Early Espresso again, the classic ink, and just sponge around the edges. And take another dimensional, pop that up, put that right over here. And there you go. Super easy and super cute. And there's the other one. Okay, thanks for stopping by and we'll see you later. Bye.